Hey folks, Mr. Justin here with Secret Weapon Miniatures and another 2-minute tutorial for you. This time what we're going to do is look at how to quickly and effectively weather brass. It's actually one of my favorites. Here is an example of some pieces I'm doing for my Remora kit from Industrial Mechanica. So it starts out shiny brass just like you'd expect from my brass etch razor wire here, all shiny and nice. And what I've done is actually used ammonia create natural weathering on my brass. You can see it darkens up the body and it creates a natural patina inside all around. I've done that on the horn that's going to go on the top, and I've done that for all of these tiny little lanterns. Check these things out. These things are great. So all of my little lanterns here have a natural patina to them. They look like weathered brass, which is exactly what I'm after. It's something I couldn't really do with paint, and even a wash is not going to give me the realism that I'm looking for, particularly as easily or quickly on something this small, this fragile, this delicate. But I can come back at this point, hit that with a bit of sealer, a bit of matte sealer, and come back with some pigments if I wanted to kick that up a notch. But how do we do it? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, there are lots of things, lots of ways to do this. The first thing I'm going to need is a sealed container full of ammonia. Ammonia is horrible, horrible, awful, evil, disgusting, horrible stuff. I cannot over-exaggerate that. I cannot overemphasize that. I generally only use this outside. This lives in my garage. The only reason I'm doing it inside right now is because that's where all this is, and I didn't feel like setting up the camera rig in the garage. So I have a container that seals. I have seen this done in mason jars. I have seen this done in little plastic containers. I have seen it done in Tupperware, which is what I'm using. You also need a way to hold the brass up off of the ammonia. So inside of my container, I have a plastic bag. Closing that very quickly. While I'm working, I have my windows open over here. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to turn on the whole house fan with the windows going, even though it's like 105 degrees outside for me. Yeah, this is stinky, stinky, horrible stuff. It's not good for you. Try not to breathe it. I would also normally wear my respirator. I'm going to be working very quickly with my ammonia today. It's yucky. But for the brass razor wire, what I'm going to do today is actually take a lump of white putty. This is the Yuhu putty. I'm going to roll it out a little bit, and I'm going to attach it to the bottom of my small fret of brass razor wire. This is what comes in the Trenchworks Scenic kit. And I actually have a bit of rubberized cork here that I am going to attach it to. Easy peasy. Simple as that. I would take this and I would stick this inside of my container. I'm not going to do that now because, like I said, I don't want to open this inside if I can help it. Here's one I did that to earlier. You can see the little shiny spot here where it was attached. I left this in too long. I actually left this in for about 48 hours. It doesn't normally take that long for the brass to weather up like this. It can do it a couple hours overnight depending on how heavy you want it. But that's why we got the bluing up here, as I left it in too long. Other methods to use is you can actually suspend it inside by putting either a bit of wire or say a paper clip, bending a paper clip to hold the pieces. Whatever you can do to get the model or the piece that you want to weather inside the container full of brass, but again, not sitting directly in it. You want it to be in the vapors and not in the liquid itself. And this is also, of course, the reason I say never ever put ammonia through your airbrush. It doesn't take much. Again, this is all just weathered directly from ammonia vapor left behind on brass. You leave ammonia in your airbrush, any brass part that's exposed, it's going to start weathering it up the same way. So be careful with that. Be careful when you're working with ammonia. But again, the finished effect on this just can't be beat. It can't be matched by anything else. What you get then versus now is a really striking difference. It's completely matte brass. Even if we look at the same pieces, ignoring the over-weathered spot, I'd be ready to go with this right there on the field. Wouldn't have to do anything else with it. So again, ammonia. Sealed container. Use it outside. Well-ventilated area. Wear a respirator still if you've got one sitting around. Anything to help keep you from breathing this stuff in. Always well-ventilated. Always well-sealed when you're not using it. And that's it. That's weathering brass with ammonia. Any questions? You can find me at Mr. Justin at SecretWeaponMiniatures.com. And I'll be back with another 2-minute tutorial. Thanks for watching.